Dexter Resurrection Season 2 can finally resolve an OG series loose end. Hey everyone, Sophia here, and I need to start with something bold, because what I'm about to say may completely change how you look at Dexter Resurrection Season 2. So let me ask you this. What if I told you that one single character from way back in the OG series, a character almost everyone forgot about, could be the key to finally exposing Dexter as the Bay Harbor Butcher? And no, I'm not talking about Batista. I'm not talking about Quinn, or even Harrison. I'm talking about someone who slipped through Dexter's kill code. Someone who knew his darkest secret and lived to tell the tale. That's right. I'm talking about Lumen Pierce. Now I know what you're thinking. Lumen, the Season 5 character. Julia Stiles, the woman who literally teamed up with Dexter for revenge before walking away. Yeah, that one. And here's where it gets wild. Dexter Resurrection Season 2 might actually use her to tie up one of the biggest, longest, standing loose ends in the entire franchise. But before I dive deep into that forbidden knowledge, let me paint the problem first, because it's not just about fan service, it's about credibility. See, the finale of Season 1 ended with Dexter escaping Prater's vault alive, which honestly, was already shocking enough. But now he's back out there, sharpening the knives, building a new kill list, and setting himself up for another inevitable confrontation. The question is, who's going to catch him first? And more importantly, how is the show going to make it believable this time, without repeating the same mistakes we saw in New Blood? Because let's be real, one of the biggest criticisms of Dexter post Season 5 was that it kept introducing characters who almost caught Dexter but then conveniently died or vanished. Dukes, dead. LaGuardia, dead. Batista, too late. Hannah, just disappeared. It felt like the writers were scared to let anyone survive knowing Dexter's truth. But Lumen, oh, she's different. She survived, she walked away, and she's still out there, somewhere. And if Season 2 is brave enough, it could bring her back in a way that blows the story wide open. Now here's where Joey Quinn enters the picture. Remember back in Season 5, after Rita's murder, when Quinn actually suspected Dexter? He wasn't some clueless comic relief. He was this close to proving Dexter's secret. He even hired the corrupt cop Stan Liddy to spy on him. And what did he find? Lumen, living with Dexter, covered in secrets. And even then, he knew something wasn't right. Fast forward to Resurrection Season 2. If Quinn resurfaces, and he almost has to, it won't just be to fill Batista's shoes. It'll be personal. He'll be looking for answers. And who's the one person alive who could connect Quinn's old suspicions to Dexter's present reality? Exactly. Lumen Pierce. And here's the shocking part nobody talks about. If Lumen re-enters the story, she instantly becomes the most dangerous loose end in the franchise. Why? Because she's one of only 4 people alive who knows Dexter's secret. Let me list them: Lumen, Charlie, Harrison, and Angela. That's it. And out of those 4, Lumen is the only one who doesn't have family ties clouding her judgment. So imagine this: Quinn tracks her down. Maybe he thinks she's a victim. Maybe he thinks she can help him prove Dexter's guilt. But the second she hears Dexter's name again, you know she'll be haunted. And that's when things get truly dangerous for Dexter Morgan. Now pause for a second. If you're here with me right now, diving into these forbidden connections, you're clearly a true Dexter fan. So make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, because here on Breakdown Epic, we don't just recap, we uncover the secrets the writers are hiding in plain sight. Okay, now let's get back into the darkness. Because here's the thing that blows my mind. Julia Stiles has stayed completely quiet about the Dexter universe for years. She's gone on to star in Hustlers, Jason Bourne, The Lake. But has she ever outright said she's done with Lumen? No, which means that door has always been left open. And when a show like Resurrection builds itself around legacy, callbacks, and interconnecting threads, you know the writers are going to look at unfinished business. And what's more unfinished than a woman who knows the Bay Harbor Butcher, who teamed up with him, who slept in his house, and then walked away? Let me hit you with a theory. Lumen doesn't just return, she becomes the informant. Think about it. Quinn brings her into the fold. Maybe he pressures her, maybe he promises protection, maybe he convinces her that Dexter killed Batista. Suddenly, Lumen isn't just a loose end, she's the smoking gun. But here's the forbidden twist nobody wants to consider. What if Lumen doesn't betray Dexter at all? What if she warns him instead? Picture it. Quinn finds her, starts digging, and she secretly tips Dexter off. He's coming for you. That would make her a double agent in this deadly chess game. Either way, her reappearance changes everything. And this is why I think Season 2 could finally break the cycle of wasted potential. Because let's be honest, Dexter's mythology has always been haunted by near misses. Dukes deserved better. LaGuardia deserved better. Hell, even Deb deserved better. But Lumen, she's been waiting in the wings, untouched, unresolved, and maybe, just maybe, the writers are finally ready to pull that trigger. Now I've got to ask you all this. If Lumen comes back, do you think she should betray Dexter, or save him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'll be combing through them for the wildest theories. And let me tell you, sometimes you guys come up with ideas so good, I wish the showrunners were watching. Alright, let's take a step back and play a little game of, what if? What if Lumen isn't the wildcard we think she is? What if she's actually the missing puzzle piece that pushes Dexter into his biggest mistake yet? Because let's be brutally honest here. Dexter always underestimates the people he lets live. He thought Dukes was too reckless. He thought LaGuardia was too stubborn. He thought Hannah was too in love. And every single time, Those people nearly burned his world down. Lumen, she's the only survivor who knows everything. That's not just a loose end. That's a live grenade waiting to go off. Now imagine you're Dexter. You've just escaped Prater's vault. You're back in the shadows. You're building your new kill list. And then suddenly, you hear whispers. Joey Quinn is in New York. He's asking about you. And even worse, Lumen Pierce is answering those questions. Tell me this doesn't sound like the perfect nightmare scenario. But here's where I want you guys to chime in. Poll time: if Quinn and Lumen team up in Season 2, do you think they'll actually manage to expose Dexter? Or will Dexter do what he always does? Find a way to turn the tables, silence the threats, and keep moving. I'm dying to see what side of the fence you're on, so light up the comments with your predictions. And speaking of predictions, remember in our last video when I said Season 1 of Resurrection ended Dexter's final curse by sticking the landing? Yeah, this is where I think they risk breaking that streak. If they mishandle Lumen, if they bring her back only to kill her off quickly, it'll feel like another wasted opportunity. And you know what, I'll say it. I'll be furious. Like Deb, in the hospital shooting scene, furious. But let's talk deeper secrets here. There's a forbidden layer nobody is considering. Lumen may not just be a witness, she may actually be a mirror for Harrison. Think about it. Both Lumen and Harrison are people Dexter let in. Both of them saw the dark passenger firsthand. Both walked away scarred. What if Season 2 sets them on a collision course? Harrison searching for his father, Lumen warning him about what Dexter really is. That would turn the narrative completely upside down. Instead of Harrison chasing Dexter with love or hate, he'd be chasing him with truth. And I have to admit, this theory keeps me up at night. Because the writers love poetic symmetry. They love bringing old storylines back in twisted new forms. So if Harrison's journey is about breaking the cycle, doesn't it make sense to bring back the first person who broke free from Dexter's orbit? Let me toss another hypothetical at you. What if Quinn doesn't survive Season 2? I know. That's a hot take. But think about the storytelling logic. If Quinn finally corners Dexter, if he finally finds proof through Lumen, then Dexter will have to make a choice. Kill Quinn to protect his secret, or let the truth come out. And either way, it would be devastating. Because let's face it, Dexter killing Quinn would be the ultimate tragic irony. The one guy who stayed loyal to Miami Metro all these years, the one guy who never gave up, cut down by the man he was chasing. That would hit harder than LaGuardia's death ever did. And here's where the meme-worthy reaction comes in. I can already see it. Twitter blowing up. Quinn didn't survive 8 seasons just to die in Resurrection Season 2. Cue the crying SpongeBob meme. But if Quinn lives, then Dexter's mask is gone forever. Because once you've got Quinn and Lumen on the same side, no amount of knives, plastic wrap, or kill tables can stop the truth from spreading. And honestly, I kind of love that idea. Because here's the emotional kicker. Dexter has always been his own worst enemy. Every season, he thinks he's in control. But deep down, he's just patching holes in a sinking ship, and Season 2 might finally be the moment when all those holes burst open at once. Now, let me roast myself a little here, because I know some of you are thinking, Sophia, you've been wrong before. And yeah, guilty as charged. Remember when I said Batista was going to be the main villain of Season 1? Yeah, let's never speak of that again. But that's the fun, right? This community thrives on wild theories, forbidden knowledge, and connecting dots the writers hope we overlook. So tell me, what's the wildest theory you've got about Lumen? Do you think she comes back to betray Dexter? Do you think she helps him? Or do you think she's already dead, and Quinn just uncovers her old files instead? I want the craziest takes in the comments. Because half the time, you guys are better at this than the actual showrunners. And before I wrap this up, let's end with a thought experiment. Picture the Season 2 finale. Dexter is cornered. Quinn is alive. Harrison is torn. Lumen is standing in the shadows, holding the one truth that could end it all. She looks at Dexter. He looks at her. And then blackout. Cut to credits. Would that not be the most gut-wrenching scream at your TV, throw your popcorn ending possible? That's why this matters. That's why bringing Lumen back isn't just fan service. It's a full circle payoff. It's the forbidden knowledge finally catching up to the Bay Harbor Butcher. So I'll leave you with this. Dexter's story has always been about consequences delayed. But consequences can only hide for so long, and in Season 2, those consequences might just have a name. Lumen Pierce. Thanks for watching. Thanks for theorizing with me. And as always, stay dangerous, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.